to the City of Good Neighbors, I pledge to stand with you through this awful, awful tragedy, to work in the Senate to oppose the poison of white supremacy that inspired this attack, to work towards finally ridding our streets of weapons of war, and to make sure that this community has all the resources necessary to heal, to endure, to stand tall once again.
24 years in the U.S. Senate, and now he wants to talk about white supremacy. I wonder why. It's a re-election year for Chuck Schumer, and I think he may be in for the shock of his life. Joe Pinion is the Republican nominee for the United States Senate, and here in New York State, running against Chuck Schumer. Welcome back, Joe. How you doing?
Good to be here, my friend, again, just trying to spread the word that, yes, we are on the path to send Chuck Schumer packing after 42 years in Congress, 24 in the United States Senate. It's time to go in a different way before they destroy America as we know it.
So you were in Buffalo this week,
yeah.
And to me, it was a disgrace how they portrayed this as somehow the responsibility of mainstream conservatives. Mainstream conservatives don't believe in white supremacy. This shooter, the alleged shooter, was a total nut job. And I see, by the way, there you are at the site. Before we talk about that, what was it like up there?
I mean, just a grief-stricken population where we had the oldest blemish on the soul of humanity rear its ugly head, one of the worst acts of hatred we have seen in the modern history of this state. I think the entire nation recognizes that when somebody drives past perfectly good supermarkets, hundreds of miles to go victim shopping in the heart of Buffalo because the people that shopped at that Tarps had melanin in their skin, we realize that we still have work to do. But what these Democrats have done, when we know in this nation that times like this call for unity, even when you talk about somebody like Bill Clinton in the aftermath of the Oklahoma City bombing, you have lost too much, but you have not lost everything, and you have not lost America. George Bush, the people who took down these towers, will hear from all of us soon. And what does Chuck Schumer do? He says that he feels the pain of black people, then he gets on Twitter and picks a fight with a television network. That's not leadership. It's cowardice, described as compassion, but in many ways, just the same long con.
Wow. Hey, Joe Pinion was a Newsmax host here for quite some time. He left all that to enter the world of politics. Joe, you are going up against an entrenched incumbent. He is wildly wrong on this issue, and I believe many others. What do you perceive as another vulnerability of his?
Well, look, the hard truth is that in life, your greatest strengths become your greatest weakness. We are not going to allow our dreams to be held hostage by fear. If you are a black parent, you are not going to allow Chuck Schumer to say that your child not reading at a proficient level should be held hostage by the boogeyman of white supremacy. We are not going to allow mothers all across this state who are concerned about the deep poverty that our children experience to allow that to be held hostage by them fear-mongering about reproductive rights. This is the year we're going to break the back of single-party rule, because when shootings are up 90%, when we've got 103 officers shot in the line of duty this year alone, it's not even June. Something has to change, and that has to start with the leaders who allow this nonsense and this madness to plague the society that we love.
I'm checking out your website right now, joepinion.com. Go there for all the information you want about Joe and the campaign. He is running for the U.S. Senate against Chuck Schumer. Man, would that be satisfying if you can pull this off. I know it's a tough one, Joe. Final thoughts.
Look, we're going to win this election because it is a grassroots effort. Every person knows that what Chuck Schumer does in the name of New Yorkers impacts every single one of us. And so we are building that uncommon coalition. We're going to win this election with the people. And again, you can go to joepinion.com, because this is the year we will send a tremor through the electoral system. Because if there's one race that makes sure that the words defund police never get uttered again, it's when we defeat Chuck Schumer on November 8th, 2022.
A tremor? It'll be an earthquake, typhoon, tornado, you name it, volcano, all wrapped up into one, and it'll be glorious. Good luck, sir. Joe Pinion, everybody. We'll be right back. Thank you, pal.